Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with local culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org.
Market Fresh, broadcasting live from the heart of downtown San Luis Obispo. Here's your host, Randall White.
And a very good day, everyone. Great to have you with us here on Crush 92.5 FM. I am your host, Randall White. 5:19 now the time. That was fun, heading out to Avila Beach for a check on the tour of California, the Amgen tour, wrapping up there just a short time ago. And we spoke with the owner of, the new owner, I should mention, of Cuvée Bistro and Champagne Bar out there, who he just sounded like he was in such a great mood because of the, just basically the juiced up crowd that they have out there. Thousands of people, he said, to watch the finish line for the Amgen Tour. We should let you know that for Stage 5, Jans Voigt of Germany came in first place, just behind him at, if I understand this correctly, 0.6 of a second? I could be reading this wrong, but I'm not sure. Tyler Farrar from the U.S., followed by Thor Hushovd from Norway, Peter Sagan from another country, and Michael Matthews from Australia. All right, everyone, it is time now to get a check on something that's going to be happening this coming weekend, Sunday to be exact. There will be a butterfly release taking place at Coquelicot Winery in the San Ynez wine growing region. Joining us on the line right now to talk a little bit about the why behind this and how you can experience it with the whole family is Bernard Rosenson. Welcome to the program, Bernard.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. I'd like to make one correction. It's not a butterfly release. It's a ladybug release.
Oh, right. Why did I write butterfly on here? Yeah, you're right.
Well, it's close. It's close, but...
All right. So somebody needs more sleep. Ladybug release is exactly what it is. You know, I need to go. I think on the website I even wrote butterfly. Butterfly is on the brain. Yeah.
Well,
so
we'll do the butterflies next time.
Okay. Like they do butterfly releases at like weddings and stuff, don't they? I think I've seen stuff like that. But at any rate, ladybugs. Why ladybugs at a winery?
Well, this is the vineyard, the actual the vineyard where the grapes are grown, and we farm organically, so we have to find alternative methods of controlling pests, bad bugs. And so ladybugs are good bugs. There are many good bugs. This is one of them. And we also want to make it friendly for children, and children love ladybugs. And so we are doing a ladybug release. We're going to release, about 5,000 ladybugs. So they'll be dispersed throughout our 53 acres that are planted, and we'll have children and adults, of course, as well, if they want to, and we'll release the ladybugs at that point.
That's fantastic.
The ladybugs eat up all the bed bugs.
Bernard, how are the ladybugs stored? Do they come in like how do you handle 5,000 ladybugs? Are they shipped to you?
Very carefully.
Right.
No, they come in bags. They come in these bags. They're grown by insect growers, and they come in bags. And the bag is open, and we gently nudge them out of the bag, and they land on your finger. They go down your shirt, and then hopefully they go on the plant.
Right. I've known ever since I was a little kid that ladybugs were the good bugs, and they ate the aphids and such that might cause problems with some of the produce you may be gardening. I didn't realize they were beneficial at wineries as well. Yes,
they're beneficial for all agriculture. They're wonderful insects, and we cherish them, and we guard them, and we protect them. And of course, we don't spray with pesticides and herbicides, and so they live as long as a ladybug lives.
So Coquelicot Winery, which I love saying that. Once I was given the pronouncer for it. Now I have no problem saying it at all. But Coquelicot is an organic winery. Are you certified organic or working to become organic?
Well, we're not certified. You know, getting certified is a big process.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bureaucracy involved, but we maintain our own standards and our own conduct. We're self-directed. And so, and we have a great winemaker who's of the same, Michael Larner, who's of the same mind as I am. And so we direct that everything we do is going to have to follow under those guidelines. Could we become certified? I think we could, but it's a long process. It's a very long process.
Tell us about the flower that represents the winery.
Well, a coquelicot translated into English is a red poppy, and those are the red poppies that grow wild from June on for the whole summer throughout Europe. Now, when I grew up as a kid, I grew up in France, and we used to go to the countryside in the summer, and I remember the coquelicot. So, in a sense, I'm reviving my childhood by living the coquelicots. And we plant coquelicot poppies on our vineyard as well, and they're blooming right now. So it's a memory of childhood that I cherish.
It sounds beautiful. Where are you located there in the San Ynez Valley?
Well, we're right down Alisol's, right where the Wyndham timeshares are, right down that street.
Oh, yeah.
And we're between the golf course and the Mission. We're right below the San Ynez Mission.
Oh, what a nice, beautiful setting. This is a great time of year, too. Aside from the Ladybugs, I noticed that a lot of wineries are now putting in owl boxes as well. Have you considered that?
Well, we have those. We have those as well throughout the vineyard. And you know, we invite, again, these raptor birds to join us and pick up the critters that constantly gnaw at our vine.
Right. Right. So, you know, Sideways made such a name for the San Ynez wine growing region. There's Sideways wine tasting maps, and I know that some of the people that live there don't ever want to hear that word again. But I would imagine that there are others that, you know, owners like yourself who welcome, as long as that wants to live, you know, the better. Are you still getting tourists that swing by there and mention the movie?
Well, we hear the mention of the movie, yes. First of all, it was a great film. It was done very well. It was accepted all over the world as a great work of art. I don't mind things done in good taste. I thought that was done in good taste, although there might be some differing opinions with some of the scenes there. But I thought it was funny. It was facetious. It made fun of the wine industry. It made fun of people who drink wine. It was wonderful, and it was all done in good taste, in my opinion. No, I don't mind that kind of thing as long as it's done well. I think it's great. I mean, there were other movies about wine that were wonderful too, like Bottle Shock.
Right.
I think those are educational. In that respect, they were That was educational. I think anything about wine is helpful.
I love Bottle Shock as well. With Sideways in mind, do you grow Pinot Noir there?
We don't grow Pinot Noir. It's too warm for Pinot Noir in this area. We do produce Pinot Noir, but we get it in a colder area like Santa Rita Hills, Los Alamos, those areas that are colder.
Right. And so what is your signature wine?
Well, I think the signature wine, in my opinion, would be our Bordeaux blend. It's a 5-grade blend called Mon Amour, which, again, is French for my love. And so I think that's our signature wine, a Bordeaux blend that we produce.
Bernard, what time should people? Do they need reservations first of all to show up on Sunday?
They do. Let me tell you, it's become an event where we're not charging anything to the public. So we have invited all the customers that we've had for the last 7 years. But if someone is interested, I'm going to give you a phone number. They have to call first. We have to invite them, and there's no charge at all.
Okay.
It is an event that I'm sponsoring myself. It's for all my friends and all my customers and anybody who likes wine. So if they call our tasting room at 805-688-1500 and they speak to the manager there, we will accommodate as many as we can.
Okay.
But it's become a closed event for circumstances which might take another half hour for me to explain on this station.
Right. Bernard, I just want to double check because we only have a few seconds left. 805-688-1500.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll repeat that a little bit later for people that didn't have a chance to get out a pen. Bernard Rosenson, wine producer at Coquelicot Winery in the San Ynez wine growing region. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Thank you so much.
On Crush 92.5 FM.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CALUV.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool.
seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Market Fresh, broadcasting live from the heart of downtown San Luis Obispo. Here's your host, Randall White.
5:33 the time. Good day, everyone. Great to have you joining us here on The Crush 92.5. Did I already say 5:33? If I didn't, you get to hear it again. Or if I did, I guess. Hey, so our last guest there with Coquelicot Winery in the San Ynez Valley, a very large Ladybug release this coming Sunday. Fun for the whole family. They may have room for you to check this out. If you want to reserve a spot, 805-688-1500. So 688-1500 is the number to call for their tasting room. Just let them know that you'd really like to check out what they've got going on there. It sounds like an interesting place. I haven't visited Coquelicot yet, but now it's on my list. All right, it is springtime. In fact, we are mid-spring, heading into late spring, and it is time to get those plants in the ground. I think we're beyond seed at this point, so you definitely need to get the plants into the ground. And why not inspire the kids while you are at it? Very interesting article in this season's, I should say, Edible Slow magazine, available on newsstands all over San Luis Obispo County. It is absolutely free. You can get a mail subscription, then you have to pay for like the postage and that sort of thing. But all in, for the most part, Edible Slow is completely free. And one of their featured stories this season is on Addison Landscape and Allie Addison joins us in studio to talk about incorporating gardening incorporating kids into your gardening.
Exactly.
Hi, Allie. How are you?
I'm doing great, Randall. How are you?
I'm just fine. And I got to say, the pictures are so cute of
Thank
your
you.
son and then one of your friend's daughters, right?
Yes, exactly.
You guys are playing in the dirt. Is that what it basically is for the kids?
Pretty much, and for all ages. I also sent you a couple other pictures. I just installed another herb garden a couple weeks ago for a client, and I took the baby along with me, and so I sent you some pictures of him actually rolling around in the dirt. And that's what it comes down to is gardening with your kids is just like gardening to begin with. I mean, the basic principles still apply, but really you just have to think like a child. And you have to remember that it's supposed to be fun. And the whole idea is to inspire them and kind of foster this foodie person that you want them to become. And I always I go back to the beginning. So I'm a new mom. I have a 15-month-old. And I want to foster this healthy lifestyle for him. Mm-hmm. So the first thing that I need to do every single day, I need to put healthy meals in front of that kid.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first step for every parent. Healthy meals, healthy snacks, whatever it be. But then it's kind of like the whole, the proverb of give a man a fish versus teach a man to fish.
Yeah.
So back up another step, and then you take your kid to the kitchen, and you have them actually help you prepare those meals. So then they're starting to get inspired. They're starting to learn, like, okay, if I do this, this is what I'm going to get in return, and then I'm going to be able to enjoy this. So then you take it a step back even further. You take them to market. You take them to your local store, to your farmer's market, and you set them free, and you say, okay, scavenger hunt, if you will. Let's go and let's find these ingredients.
Make it fun, like a game, right?
Exactly. And then the final step really is if you have the ability to grow your own. And for me as a new mom, I really wanted like complete control, I guess you would say, over what my kid was eating. And I started off very, very hopeful, and this is exactly how I was going to do it, and he was going to eat this, and he was going to love it. And of course, a year and a half later, I've had to kind of go with the flow. Exactly.
Right.
But I like to think that with my husband, Tyler, being a landscaper, and he has the background on actually installing these edible gardens for people. And then with me and my newfound parenting and developing parenting skills, that I kind of have a good grasp on how I'm going to garden with my child and how I have been gardening with my child. So that's really what the article was about. And like I said, it comes down to fun and making sure that everything that you do has that fun element. And so then if you read through the article, I have a bunch of little tips. And the first one, think like a child. Again, back to the fun. Mm-hmm. There's a sense of wonderment when you're a kid, and really you just have to put yourself back into your 6-year-old self.
Right.
And it's as easy as that.
Well, really, like when I think back, my favorite thing to do in the garden was dig holes. You know, like you love to dig holes when you're a kid, and that's exactly what's needed for placing plants.
Yes, you have to do that. Right. And even if you are just playing in the dirt, having your parent next to you, if the parent is the one that's actually doing the work, and that happens in a lot of things, at least you're there and you're seeing your parent involved in the gardening, and eventually you're going to become interested in it. Mm-hmm. I think back to when I was a kid, I had a really great advantage in that I'm a farm girl. I grew up on a farm. My parents, we had avocados, lemons, cattle, raspberries on a larger scale. Mm-hmm. But because my parents really believed in this, we also had, my brother and I, our own edible gardens. And my mom would take us and we'd pick out exactly what we wanted to grow. And it was the big to-do in springtime. We would go and we would pick it out, and I'd have my stuff and my brother would have his. And then at the end of the day, that's what we worked on. And of course, we had animals and we had all these things that we had to tend to. So we kind of had it down, and this was our chore, and you had to take care of these things. But then when everything would come into season, we would go down to the end of the driveway, and instead of having a lemonade stand, we'd have our own little mini farmer's market. And we'd sell the stuff. And so that was one of the tips that I had in this article, is you want to inspire your children not only to grow the food for themselves, but get that sense of accomplishment. So, kick the lemonade stand to the curb, I guess you could say, and do a little farmer's market stand for your kids, and let them sell the strawberries, let them sell the corn that they grew, the carrots, whatever it may be. So that was one of the tips that I had on there. There's
something really amazing when you're young and you see these plants produce things that you only know about being bought at a store. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is coming out of our yard. You know, my parents had strawberries and we had artichokes, and I always begged them to plant things that wouldn't grow in Northern California. Like I wanted to grow pineapples. You know, and they're like, yeah, well, pineapples aren't going to work for us here, but but we can do this, that, and the other.
Exactly.
And so my love for farm fresh foods started young, like you were saying. That's great to instill that at such a young age. You know who Michael Pollan is?
Of course.
Yeah, I was listening to an interview with him today, and he basically was saying a lot of what you were just saying, that starting really young with these different attributes will go a long way in changing this obesity problem we have, the desire for the sweets only at the stores, and wanting to know what's in your foods.
Exactly. It really starts at a young age. And even if you have the 10-year-old or if you have the 15-year-old, you could still do this, and you could still try to foster that that farmer and growing your own food. You could foster that in your child. A couple other tips that I have in there is kids are all about instant gratification.
Yeah.
So when you are planning what you're going to plant, remember that they are not very patient.
No.
You're learning their patience. So they want stuff that's going to grow really quickly. So you want to keep that in mind. Also color. Kids love color. And so one of the things I had in there too was the element of surprise. And you could imagine for the first time a child, if you've gone down the carrot route and being able to pull that carrot out from the ground.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, there's this orange thing and it's delicious. And what a surprise. It's like Christmas morning and they get to open that up. So I had on there one of those tips. A couple other ones. Location. So my mom always said, I always kind of had your play area within view of the house. And you want to remember that if you have the space and if you have room to think about where you're going to put your edible garden, you want to make sure that, number one, it's close to your kitchen so that it's an easy transfer of the goods back and forth. But secondly, if this is going to be a space for your kids, you want to keep an eye on them. So you don't want it on the backside of the house where you cannot see them doing their thing. So location is a big factor.
I noticed in a lot of the pictures that you have, you use raised beds.
Yes, raised beds.
So is that really
it's so easy?
We make gardening a little more like in our heads. We make gardening more difficult than it actually is.
Exactly. And so one of the location things too is a lot of people don't have the space. So if you don't have the space to have this edible garden, pots. Container edible gardens are fantastic. You could have the tiniest little pot on your back patio.
You can do it in a condo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so if you wanted to start small, there's another thing. I mean, a lot of people will get really excited and they'll go off to Miners or to Farm Supply and they'll buy all their plants. And
I'm guilty of doing that.
And you probably buy too many and then you don't know what you and your child can actually tend to and what you have time for, because at the end of the day, this is a time-consuming job. I mean, you're growing your own food. You're taking care of a living thing pretty much. So start small. A great way to start is with herbs. And I know it may not seem that exciting for a kid, but you could put it in a container. You could put it in a pot. So it's something that can fit anywhere, no matter what size your yard is. Right now, with my son being 1.5 years, it's all about developing his senses. So beyond taste and beyond sight and beyond sound and everything that we've been working on, he also is developing his sense of smell. And right now we have our basil, our sweet Italian basil.
And you can touch the leaves and then rub them.
And you rub it. And honestly, I think I get more satisfaction over the look on his face when he smells that and his eyes
like,
kind of bulge out of his head.
Mom.
Exactly.
Look what we did.
Yeah.
And then you can take the mint and you can make homemade mint ice cream.
Exactly.
Which really just tastes so much better
So
than
good.
anything else you could ever possibly buy at the store.
Absolutely.
With the fresh mint. Well, I love it. I know that there will be a lot of parents out there that'll get a ton out of the rest of this article. Some of the points we weren't able to get to. It is Edible Slow magazine, available all over the place.
Everywhere.
Even at the farmer's market tonight. You can find more information online, facebook.com/edible SLO, edible slow. And Allie, is it addisonlandscape.com?
Yep. addisonlandscape.com. Our phone number is 805-473-0913. And you can also check out our Facebook, which is facebook.com/Addison Landscape Inc.
And you're located in the village of Arroyo Grande.
Yes.
Well, Allie, thank you so much for sharing with us tonight.
No problem. Thank you, Randall.
We're going to go play in the dirt during the commercial break here. And then right after that, We're headed out to the Lido deck to find out why there's no entertainment at the market tonight. There's a good reason behind it. You're listening to Market Fresh. I'm your host, Randall White, and we are back in un momento.
It's Market Fresh on Crush 92.5 FM.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with local culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org.
Market Fresh, broadcasting live from the heart of downtown San Luis Obispo. Here's your host, Randall White.
And a very good Thursday evening, everyone. I'm your host, Randall White. And hopefully you got a chance to see some of the Tour of California riders coming through our stretch of the Central Coast, heading out to Avila Beach. Boy, it's a zoo out there with thousands of people. That's how we started off the show, with a call out to a Cuvée Champagne Bar and Bistro. But right now, the focus is on the Thursday night market at hand, which starts in about 10 minutes. On Higuera Street, it's been going on for decades, and it is one of the don't-miss features of downtown San Luis Obispo. Well, joining us from what we call the Lido Deck, high above the Court Street shops, is our Market Fresh Cruise Director, Jen Young, with a look at tonight's Farmers Market entertainment schedule, or lack thereof, and the lowdown on fava beans. Jen, what do you know?
Well, I learned a lot this week, Randall. But first of all, we'll talk about the entertainment, or like you said, lack thereof entertainment tonight. But there is a good reason. It is law enforcement tonight at Farmers Market. And so agencies like SLO PD, Santa Maria FBI, Pismo Beach, SLO County Sheriff's Department, Paso Robles, and Oceano Dunes State Park, all those agencies are going to be out here on the different side streets for kids to come and check out their equipment, ask questions, and really just meet their local heroes that are here in SLO County. We don't get to interact with them as much as we'd like to, in a good kind of way normally. So this is a chance to come out, and I definitely bring the kids. They can check out what they do. They can see their heroes. Talk to them, ask them questions, and all that kind of fun stuff.
Get to know your community, right?
I'm sorry?
Get to know your community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get to know what they do for us here in SLO County. So they're going to have, all the different agencies will have officers with displays, and they're going to have interactive stuff for the kids to do, and also educational and different opportunities for kids to learn a little bit more about what the different agencies do and what they do for the community. And it's for kids of all ages, so if you're not a kid, but you're a big kid at heart, definitely come check it out. And also, so Randall, you've been talking about these fava beans for a couple weeks now. So I decided to do a little research for you, and I feel like I'm the in-house expert on fava beans now, hopefully. So what they are is they're also known as broad beans. And, it's a little windy out here. They're a member of the pea family, and they're popular in Mediterranean cuisine. They're kind of similar to peas. They kind of look like peas. They're in a little pod. And they have a buttery texture, slight bitterness, but with a nutty flavor to them, which sounds super delicious. Now, as far as nutrition information goes, they have so much nutrients packed into that tiny little bean. You wouldn't believe it. They're high in protein. They're great for vegans, vegetarians, people who don't eat meat a lot. They're high in fiber and iron, rich in dietary fiber and phytonutrients, and they're also low in sodium and fat, which is really nice. So the season is going on right now. They're planted about in the winter, and they're ready to harvest around now. It's kind of a short season. And I talked to a local vendor last week at Farmers, Domingo Farms, and he told me a little bit about them and how to eat them.
Restaurants use them a lot, all types of restaurants. You have to take them out of the shell, and you can either boil them, steam them, and just put them a little olive oil and garlic, salt, and I'd keep it simple because the taste is good.
Now, they are a little labor intensive to eat, and I know, Randall, you've had some for a couple weeks now, and you're not sure what to do with them.
True.
So you have to take them out of the pod and then boil them and take them out of the waxy coating. So it is a little bit of labor, but you do get your work's worth. And like Rudy from Domingo Farm said, just don't take away the taste, just simply olive oil, garlic, salt, and they're good to go. You can throw them in a salad. You can mash them. You can do all kinds of fun stuff with them. And a little bit about Domingo Farms. It's been around for since 1950. It's in AG. It's a 150-acre farm. It's family-owned. It's been passed down from generation to generation. And they're selling fava beans tonight. And they also have fresh flowers, which were beautiful. And I should have bought some, but I'm going to go down there tonight and buy some. But that's all the information of fava beans I got for you, Randall. So I hope that helps, and I hope you can cook what you have now.
Well, Jen Young, thank you. And what often happens is Ricardo and I will head out to the market on Saturday morning, is the one we like to go to, and we'll we'll experiment and we'll, grab something we've never purchased before, bring it home, and I would say about 50% of the time it goes bad in the refrigerator because neither of us bother to, to actually get to the cooking process. And so I want to tackle these fava beans before they go bad because they were not cheap. But now that you tell me they're so labor intensive,
you can do it though.
I can do it.
You can handle it.
We'll get it set up. All right, Jen Young. Looks like there were some large crowds of, I don't know if those were police officers or people in uniform going by, but it looked like there were some big groups. And you had a couple of officers sitting on the bench next to you up there on the Lido deck, but they took off. They didn't want to be on camera?
I did, and I said hi, and I told them I was doing a segment, and then they saw the camera and ran. Oh. They were security working for farmers, so I don't blame them. But there are a lot of cool agencies out here. When I was sitting up in the studio earlier, I saw the SLO County Dive Team truck. Yeah. So that sounds pretty interesting. I really don't know what that is, but why not check it out?
Right. All right, Jen Young, thank you so much.
Thanks, Randall.
All right, let's get a check of the Market Fresh forecast now. And this is cooler than we've had over the last couple of farmers markets, at least Thursday night. Temperature at market start, which is in 5 minutes. We're looking for right at 60 degrees. And then we'll drop off about 11 degrees by the time the market closes at 9 o'clock, down to 49. I don't remember the last time I had to type in a temperature that was in the 40s. So it will be a bit cooler than what you may be used to. Most of the people, because it's been a relatively cool day, pretty much everyone's on board with that, and you're seeing people in jackets and sweaters and that sorts of thing. Those sorts of things. The sky is, I'm just going to do a quick turnaround here. Well, those clouds came right back on in. We had blue skies for a moment, but the clouds have moved in, so we have mostly cloudy skies. Winds are kicking at about 16 miles per hour, and the coastal fog developing. It looks like it's already moved in to this part of San Luis Obispo anyway. So there you have the Market Fresh forecast. If you want information on any of the guests that we had throughout tonight's show, just head to our program summary at eatdrinkexplore.com. Hover over the radio video tab, and then just click on Market Fresh, our program summaries. And again, if you want to check out the Coquelicot Ladybug release on Sunday, then call 805-688-1500. Again, 688-1500 to get your name on the list, because it is invitation only, but you can call in and request an invitation. So also, you'll want to check out Cuvée Bistro and Wine Champagne Bar in Avila Beach. And that does it for us tonight here on Market Fresh. Get out there and buy something fresh. We'll catch you here next week.
It's Market Fresh on Crush 92.5 FM.